Conservative New Media viewers, LA Lakers fans around the world, JLin fans around the world, what's up? It's me, PFE, Paul F. Villarreal, the NBA expert. We're here to discuss the Lakers' 91-86 loss to the Atlanta Hawks at Staples Center in Los Angeles, California tonight. With a defeat, the Lakers dropped to 17-47, and the Hawks improved to 51-14, which is the second best record in the league, I believe, and the best record in the Eastern Conference. Now, what happened in this game? What happened is that the Hawks started out very strong and very hot, and the Lakers weren't ready for it. The Lakers didn't have good energy. The intensity wasn't there. They looked like they were sleepwalking, and it took time for LA to kind of catch up to Atlanta in those departments. But then the Lakers did do that. They outscored the Hawks by 6 in the second quarter. LA was only down 3 at halftime, although after 3 quarters they were down by 10. But then in the fourth quarter they made a really strong run and got it down to just a couple of points. However, they weren't able to finish the game off, and the Hawks held on, steadied the ship, and got the victory in the end. Let's go over stats very quickly. The Hawks were led by backup point guard Dennis Schroeder, who was starting for Jeff Teague, who sat out this game. Schroeder, 24 points, 10 assists, a terrific night for him. Al Horford, the starting center, 21 points, 5 rebounds, 5 steals. Off the bench, Shelvin Mack, 18 points, 3 assists. Lakers were led by their bench players, which is not a huge surprise. Carlos Boozer and Ryan Kelly each had 13 points apiece. Ed Davis had 13 rebounds off the bench. Jordan Clarkson led all the starters in scoring with 10 points. He also had 8 rebounds, 6 assists. He did foul out late in the game. He had 2 turnovers. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well. Jordan started the game out pretty poorly, but he closed it well. So I'm happy for him, and that was good to see. The Lakers did not shoot the ball particularly well in this game. They shot 40% as a team, but they worked hard on rebounds, particularly in offensive rebounding, where they had 19 offensive rebounds, to the Hawks 7. Now, I do not have the statistic here in front of me that tells me how many second chance points the Lakers got, but it was probably pretty big. Second chance points is when you miss a shot, you get an offensive rebound, and then you score on the second shot attempt. So if you have 19 offensive rebounds, you're probably going to have a considerable amount of second chance points, and that statistic itself is why the Lakers were in this game at all. They did hustle, they did work harder, and good. That's good to see. The Hawks were favored in this game. The Lakers were not expected to win this game, even though the Hawks were missing a couple players. And look, the Lakers, they made a good account of themselves at the end, so I'm satisfied with the outcome. Now, also I should note, I like the way that Jabari Brown played in this game. This is the second straight game, I believe, in which he's played well. So good for him. He's having a really good showing since he came up from the D-League, and I'm happy for him, and he's building a nice future for himself with how he's performing for the Lakers. Now let's turn to Jeremy. Okay, first let's just go over statistics. 7 points in 19 minutes played, 3 of 6 from the field, including 0 of 1 from three-point range, 1 of 1 free throws, 3 rebounds, 0 assists, 3 steals, 0 block shots, 4 turnovers, although I've been told that one of those turnovers wasn't his. And so my guess is that JLin fans will write the NBA and work to get that overturned. And once I get a chance to view the video for myself, I'll write the NBA if I need to, if it was a mistake. And look, this has been done. Jeremy Lin fans have written the NBA on several occasions and got statistics changed. So if we need to do it again, it shouldn't be too hard to do it. I didn't see the turnover. So I can't comment on it yet. One personal foul, Jeremy's plus-minus was a -10. And look, I mentioned early in this game, and some of the people weren't happy about me on Twitter, Jeremy wasn't at his best in this game. He wasn't sharp. He was like a step slow on defense, I thought, and he was getting a lot of attention from the Hawks on defense. They were double-teaming him hard, slowing him down. Plus, the Hawks' defense is extremely aggressive, and most teams don't play that hard. And so it takes time to adjust to that. So if you're playing a hyper-aggressive defense that's focused on you as an offensive player, maybe you're not completely in sync in terms of with your teammates, and it's a new scheme and it's new teammates and stuff. Well, this can happen. I'm not at all discouraged by this. I think that this still very much fits within the Linsanity Prime mindset. Jeremy's had 3 turnovers in a couple games since the All-Star break. Well, so what? He still didn't force things. The first 2 turnovers that he had, I really didn't have much of a problem with, and I'll talk about that later. Again, I did not see the third and potentially fourth turnover, so I can't comment on them. This is, I tell people all the time, Linsanity Prime, the style of playing began in the Portland game right before the All-Star break. If you go back and look at the statistics for Jeremy in that game, they don't even look good. They're bad. But it doesn't matter. It's about how he played and how he approached the game. And that's where the change takes place. You can't tell everything about a game from the stats. Because if you have a player and he is being double-teamed by the defense, then it makes sense to rely on your teammates more. You almost become like a decoy. And so you might not put up any kind of stats whatsoever, but you can still have a big impact on the game because your presence on offense is making things easier for your teammates. And with the amount of attention that Atlanta was giving Jeremy tonight, that happened. It definitely happened. Plus, he had a couple blown assists and an assist for a foul, so he didn't get credit for that. So, as Ido Amir said, you can only do so much in 19 minutes. Jeremy shot the ball well. He got 3 steals, so he was working hard on defense. He was one of only 3 Lakers players that even had 1 steal in this game. He made adjustments. And the Hawks, they are aggressive. They're extremely well coached. This is a good experience for Jeremy Lin because it helps him anytime you can face the top level of competition. That's going to help you develop. This is almost like when Jeremy in his first year with Houston, how he played a little bit against Oklahoma City in the playoffs. And what do we hear? Oh, Jeremy's not ready for prime time, and he doesn't perform well in the playoffs. That experience helped him grow, helped him do better. So the next time around, like when he played against Portland, he was much better in the playoffs. And so I like this. You can't, when you progress, when you grow as a player, you're still going to have bad nights, or you're still going to have nights that don't look good like this. That's completely normal, and it actually can help you to improve even more. Because if everything goes great, then you don't keep improving. Jeremy didn't do well against the Knicks, at least at the start of the game, because nobody on the team took the Knicks seriously. So I'm not worried about that game at all. Tonight's game, the team did take the Hawks seriously. They just weren't quite ready for the speed and the aggressiveness of the Hawks. And Jeremy did have some challenges on offense and defense tonight, but great. It's going to make him better. He still mostly stayed within himself in this game. So, not only am I okay with it, I'm happy about it because it's gonna help him. Now, of course, doubters and dislikers will harp on this, and this will become the only game they talk about since the All-Star game, along with those 2 games in a row where he didn't put up big stats. Don't worry about that. What's great about where Jeremy's at now and where he's going to as a player is that he's steadier. He knows he's progressing now. So all the jitters and the negative talk, that's going to have less and less of an effect on him. So I'm sure he's not happy about this game. And apparently he had words with Byron Scott when he got subbed out of the game in the 4th quarter. So I'm sure he's ticked off, but that's good. Because again, that's going to motivate him to get even better. But he's not going to lose his confidence in the way that he lost it in the past. And that's where that consistency and stability of his performance level and the way he's approaching the game is really going to help him. So I have no concerns about this game. I'm not even mad about it. I care, but I don't care. That's how much of an effect it has on me. It's like nothing. We'll move on to the next game. So, okay, I'm going to keep this relatively short. It's been like a weird night. I'm having trouble with my microphone, and I missed some of the game, particularly later, because I was talking with people on Twitter. And so I missed a couple of plays, and, it's a little bit disorganized tonight. But I just wanted to give an overall sense of the game, what I saw and what I thought. I just said what I felt in terms of Jeremy. We'll do our normal thing here. Let's see what was going on before the game. Okay. There was some NBA rumor. Now, this could be completely fake and one of these fabricated rumors that is done for hits. Now, I don't know if it is or not. So it's supposedly, can New York, would New York be in play for maybe to reacquire Jeremy Lin? I have no idea. Like I said, I don't know if that's a legitimate rumor or if it's just nonsense. So I saw it, so I'll mention it right now. Yeah, they just played the Knicks. Phil Jackson was there. He saw Jeremy doing well, so maybe he's interested. Maybe. As much as I like the New York market for Jeremy, and obviously he succeeded so well at the Knicks, I don't know if Jeremy Lin is going to work great in the triangle system. Which Phil Jackson runs. And look, Carmelo's still there. So I don't know about that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. If he goes there, then, of course we'll support him. But I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Byron Scott apparently, as reported by Mark Medina of the LA Daily News, Byron Scott has said that for the final 10 games of the season this year, he's going to start Jeremy Lin. Well, that's just tremendous. That's good. Jeremy should be getting more minutes then. He's clearly improved, so I think we can see more better and better things from Jeremy. So that was definitely a good thing to hear coming from Byron Scott. Okay, let me just look over the game very quickly. Okay, the first turnover Jeremy had, he was trying to pass the ball to his left to Jordan Hill, kind of on a pick and pop type of play. I believe it was. So I believe Jordan Hill set the pick, and then he kind of flared out to be open for a jump shot. Jeremy tried to kind of flip the ball in a somewhat casual manner, almost over his head to Jordan, but Atlanta tipped it, and it went off the backboard, and they intercepted it. Now, what I said on Twitter about this was this was the type of turnover where you realize that you're facing a team that's playing intense defense. So it's like, okay, I can get away with that pass against maybe 80% of the teams, but not this team. So I really don't have any issue with that turnover at all. It's almost like it's like a testing play. It's like, okay, well, I tried that. I can't do it against this team, so I won't do it again. And I don't think Jeremy did it again. So I'd love it if it wasn't on his ledger, but in terms of it being a thing, it's nothing. Now, Jeremy was having some issues on defense in this game, and I think he personally was a little bit off tonight. Just like I said, I thought he was like a step slow tonight. And some of it also has to do with the Atlanta personnel, which is quick and athletic. And, so he's matching up against guys like Shelvin Mack, who's fast. And so there's a little bit of that tonight. Nothing ridiculous. Just, it wasn't Jeremy's night. And I had a sense that might be the case early. Now, he fought through it in the third quarter. But, again, Jeremy's played quite well and quite consistently since the All-Star break. So he's going to have, last game, the team couldn't get motivated against the Knicks. And tonight, it wasn't his most impressive outing ever. So what? I'm not, because of all the success that he's having, I'm much less worried about these minor setbacks. So I can't get all upset about it or whatever about it. That's just the way it worked out tonight. Okay. Then his first score of the game was a jumper off of a pick and roll play. Like he ran a pick and roll play and he went to his right and he saw that the roll man wasn't open. So he just said, okay, I'm going to take the jump shot from right around the right side of the free throw line. And he nailed it. So that was nice to see. Okay, moving on in the second quarter. Excuse me. Jeremy's second miss of the game was an air ball from three-point range on the left side, and he looked like he thought he got fouled. But he did not get the call, and he didn't look really happy about that. Also made a note just slightly before that air ball 3 occurred with Jeremy, where I said he's being patient. The Hawks trapped Jeremy on the left side of the floor, and I believe they double teamed him. And in the past, he would have made a kind of nervous attempt to move the ball out of that situation. This time, he took his time. He just kind of waited, found Carlos Boozer open. And that's what we're going to see with Jeremy. Just take the extra second, take the extra moment, and then you'll avoid the turnover in most situations. And he's doing that more and more. So it's good to see. Like I said, I saw positives in this game. There's a number of things I thought or there's certainly some things in this game that I thought that Jeremy did well. So again, I can't be overly upset with that. And I also made a note that just says the aggression of Atlanta is disrupting the Linsanity Prime mindset. So they're putting so much pressure on Jeremy on defense that it's forcing you almost out of your comfort zone. Like, okay, we're going to test your discipline now. Now it's almost like putting a huge chocolate cake before in front of somebody that's dieting. Okay, we're going to see how disciplined you are about dieting now. That's kind of what this game was like for Jeremy. And okay, he stumbled a little bit in a couple of areas, but he also succeeded in some areas. So this is good. This is like a measuring stick game. Let's see where we're at as a team. Let's see where I'm at in my development. This is going to help Jeremy. And like I said, that's really the way that I see this game. Okay, then let's see. So second quarter, done with that. The second turnover for Jeremy was the middle of the third quarter. the Hawks were just swarming him. He came. I think it was off of a pick and roll, but I'm not sure. Jeremy was on the right side of the court, and he got kind of pinned against the right end line, the out of bounds line, and his man and Al Horford just smothered him. And he just had nowhere to go. And I think, I don't know if he traveled or if he stepped out of bounds or he threw the ball away or something like that. What he wanted to do on the play was he wanted to pass the ball to Tariq Black. But Tariq Black made a mistake, and he didn't make himself available to Jeremy quickly enough. So in other words, Jeremy was waiting for Tariq Black to get himself open so that he could help Jeremy out and give him someone to pass to, and Tariq kind of messed up on that. And you could see them talk after the play occurred. So that play wasn't Jeremy's fault, or it certainly wasn't all his fault. So again, like I said, the first two turnovers didn't even faze me. It's like, sure, I don't like them, but it wasn't, they weren't bad. These aren't terrible turnovers. So that's a lot easier to kind of accept, I guess, when they're the nature of that type of a turnover. Excuse me. Oh, I'm yawning. I seem so tired. Now, in the fourth quarter, I did not get to see much of the game. At this point in the game, I was talking on Twitter. I was upset because apparently Dominique Wilkins, who does the games for Atlanta Hawks Network, was saying bad stuff about Jeremy, and he's done that before. It's like a Clyde Drexler type of thing, and it's extremely annoying. So I just got caught up talking about that and talking about how Jeremy was doing on Twitter, and a lot of people were kind of down about it. I was like, nah, it's nothing to be down about. Then I think Jeremy had a layup in transition, and I believe he scored another basket, but I did not see that either. So I can't comment about that at this time. So let's just summarize this. Again, keep this simple. Number one, it wasn't Jeremy's best night, only in terms of turnovers and a little bit on defense. Okay, so what? He has one bad night out of a bunch of them. No, that's not a big deal. Jeremy didn't get to play a lot of minutes. Byron Scott he just chose not to play Jeremy a lot. He was rotating the backcourt guys in and out quite a bit. And now that Jabari Brown is playing more, he's taking minutes away probably from Jeremy and from Wayne Ellington. So Jeremy's got to deal with that too. And I just think that if I had to guess, I think Byron didn't think Jeremy was completely on tonight, even though Jeremy did do some good things. And so Byron was just experimenting with stuff. Okay, let's see what works. Let's try this. Let's try that lineup. Let's try that lineup. Also, Melody Ting said, I believe, that when Jeremy was subbed out of the game in the second quarter, that I think he went back to the locker room to kind of look at his elbow or, I don't know, get a bandage or something, because I could see earlier in the game it looked like he kind of cut it or hurt it. Hopefully he's okay, but that might have been also the reason why he came out of the game in the second quarter a little earlier than when he usually does. Oh, excuse me, I don't know what this is. So, let's put this all together. Jeremy, not incredible stats, but really not horrible stats. If this one of the four turnovers is false, then we'll all work together to try to get that changed in the NBA, as Lin fans have done before, to make other corrections. His stats weren't bad except for the turnovers, and he could have had a couple of assists, but there were some blown assists and the assist for the foul. Defense was a little bit off, but he also had some good moments on defense too. So when you take everything together, it wasn't his best night. certainly statistically, but he stayed under control for the most part. From everything that I saw, except for that final turnover, and I can't comment on it. I thought he was under control. I thought he played smart. I thought he took what the defense was giving him, and he wasn't trying to force. And I think this is going to help him in the long run. I'm not fazed by this in any respect. I expect this to just be a blip on the radar screen, the same way that the Memphis and Dallas games were blips, even though he didn't play badly in those games. The same way that he didn't play badly in the Portland game before the All-Star break. He did not play badly in this game. He just wasn't as sharp as he has been in some other games recently. But I said it's just one game against a very good team that had its mind made up that they didn't want JLin to beat him. And that's what it is. That's what I saw, and that's how I kind of feel about what took place tonight. Okay, so that's about it. Like I said, we can talk more on Twitter and in the comments and YouTube, but let's move on to the next game, and hopefully you can have a better outing than just you have your bad outings or your not great outings, and you move on to the next one. That game will take place tomorrow, so it's back-to-back game against the Golden State Warriors. And the game will take place in Golden State. So basically, Jeremy's going back to the Bay Area. It's going back to his old team of the Warriors. This is the second straight game in a row and the second straight night in a row in which the Lakers will play one of the best two teams in the league. Warriors the best in the West, at least by record. And I'm sure it's going to be, the Warriors are, obviously, they're very good, and they have a very good defense. And so maybe Jeremy won't put up huge numbers on offense again, but that's not the way to understand if he's playing well or not. So we'll see what the game brings. That game will take place here in the United States on 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, so 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time, Monday, March 16th, and in the U.S., it will be shown on ESPN television. So that means the game will take place on Tuesday, March 17th at 10:30 a.m. in China, the Philippines, and Taiwan. Again, that's just about it. I'm eager for the next game. I'm eager to look at this game. Like I said, I want to see this thing about the fake turnover or whatever, but I'm eager to get on to the Warriors game. And one of the skills that Jeremy can learn and that he will learn, first of all, we know he supposedly had issues with back-to-backs, although he did well in the recent back-to-back. But when you have a game that's not what you want and you're playing the next night, go out and fix it. Try to play better in the next game, kind of put it behind you more. So, the Warriors aren't the easiest team to do that against, but I think I think it's a good chance Jeremy's going to play better tomorrow than his statistics look like tonight. So, again, though, I think Jeremy held true for the majority of the time in the Linsanity Prime mindset. And I'm cool with it. I'm good with it. You're going to have some games that are up and down. So he didn't play badly. It just doesn't look great because of the statistics, particularly the turnovers. But no big deal. No big deal. Let's let's learn from it and let's grow from it. Okay, that's it. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Your comments below. We'll include information in the video description so you can go and check out highlights of this game. Also, how you can come and follow us on Twitter, join our Conservative Media Facebook group, and how you can check out the Facebook of Gary Chen, who is the artist who made this great work. Gary is a member of the Jeremy Only Lynn Garden fan club, and I think that a group of people from that fan club were at Staples Center tonight and sitting behind the Lakers bench. And they were holding up Lynn signs, which it had something written on them, but I couldn't see what it was. Might have been something like, I came to see Jeremy Lin or something like that. But it's great that the Lin Garden got to go see the game, support Jeremy. And it's just awesome. Like I said, I mean, the community is amazing. The community of Jeremy Lin fans, keep supporting him. And things are getting better and better all the time for him. And I think that trend is going to be around for a bit, even when we have little backslides or whatever you want to call it, like tonight. Okay, like I said, that's it. Thumbs up, thumbs down, the whole thing. Thanks for watching Conservative Media. We strive to be the #1 Jeremy Lin YouTube fan channel. Once again, I am PFE, Paul F. for the Real, the NBA expert. Just hang in there. One of the things we've learned from the past, and you can't get too high or too low because of one game. That's why consistency is important, and your averages, because that's what really matters. Every player, no matter how good they are, is going to have games that don't look good. The stats don't show that much. So, okay. It's not unexpected against a team as good as the Hawks, particularly when they are focused on Jeremy on defense. So, okay. Maybe he wasn't really happy about it. So, after the Denver game, which took place before the All-Star break, I'm sure Jeremy wasn't happy, and that's when he started changing his game. So, struggles or the perception of struggles can often be a fuel for altering things and for progressing. So, hopefully that'll be the case here, and I think Jeremy will look at it like that, and maybe we'll see some of the results tomorrow. But onwards and upwards. I'm totally, again, everything that I saw tonight, I was fine with. There was nothing really alarming or truly unexpected. So let's just move on to the next game. Have a great night or a great day wherever you are around the world. Take care, and we'll talk to you again soon.